Good day, senior high school students. Here is our lesson number 2 in your subject Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics. According to Thomas Carlyle, culture is the process by which a person becomes all that they were created capable of being. The title of our lesson is Defining Culture and Society. But first, let's have the objectives. At the end of the lesson, we will be able to explain anthropological and sociological perspectives on culture and society, describe society and culture as a complex whole, identify aspects of culture and society, raise questions toward a holistic appreciation of cultures and societies, become aware of why and how cultural relativism mitigates ethnocentrism, and identify forms of tangible and intangible heritage and the threats to these. And for our guide questions, why is culture important in our society? How would you differentiate ethnocentrism and cultural relativism? From our references, the first anthropological definition of culture comes from 19th century British anthropologist Edward Tylor. According to him, culture is that complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, law, morals, custom, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of society. Alright, before we go further with the discussions, I want you first to get one whole piece of paper and let's have a write one and post activity. Do you have it now? Do not forget to write your name, grade level, strand, and your section. On your paper provided, write down the following on a table manner. In each column, with corresponding title, give at least 2 to 3 examples. Those examples that you will be sharing compose what we so-called culture, like languages, medical cure, religion, food, folk art, celebrations, jokes, manners, clothes and dressing, and working schedules. Culture and society on historical perspective. It is the current and future human and forest landscape conditions are influenced by the cumulative, unfolding history of social ecological interactions. Examining past system responses, especially unintended consequences, can reveal valuable insights that promote learning and adaptation. On a structural functional perspective, culture and society are member shares sets of rules and values and maintains a balanced harmonious system. It also recognizes that our lives are guided by social structures. On social conflict perspective, this is a framework for building theory that envisions society as an arena of inequality that generates conflict and change. The approach views class conflict and class exploitation as the prime moving force in mankind's history, and that the struggle for power and wealth as a continuous process between and among categories of people. And on symbolic interaction perspective, this paradigm is a theoretical that envisions society as the product of the everyday interactions of individuals. The symbolic interactions paradigm includes such other approaches as dramaturgy, ethnomethodology, and social exchange. Culture is a product of human interaction, a social heritage that is complex and socially transmitted. It provides socially acceptable patterns for meeting biological and social needs. A distinguishing factor. an established pattern of behavior. Culture is cumulative and meaningful to human beings. Let's go back to your paper. At the back, make a new table and write the following titles in every column. From what province your parents came from? Can you speak one of their dialect? What are the celebrations held there that you are familiar or even attended either? Do you have a favorite food that only found in your parents' hometown? What belief they taught you as you grow up? Once done filling up the two exercises we had, you may submit them in our next meeting. To go further with our discussions, there are two types of culture. We have the material culture and non-material culture. When we say material culture, it is the physical objects that people create and use, while non-material culture, it is the abstract human creations. Examples of material culture are automobiles, books, buildings, clothing, computers, and cooking materials. And examples for non-material culture like beliefs, family patterns, ideas, languages, political and economic systems, and rules. And there are three elements of culture, namely knowledge, beliefs, and social norms. When we say knowledge, it refers to any information received and perceived to be true. Beliefs, it is the perception of accepted reality, refers to the existence of things whether material or non-material. And the social norms, these are established expectations of society as to how a person is supposed to act depending on the requirements of the time, place, or situation. There are forms of social norms. We have the folkways, mores, values, and technology. When we say folkways, it is the pattern of repetitive behavior which becomes habitual and conventional part of living. And mores, it is set of ethical standards or moral obligations as dictates of reason that distinguishes human acts as right or wrong or good from bad. And anything held to be relatively worthy, important, desirable, or valuable is called values. And all practical application of knowledge in converting raw materials into finished products are called technology. So therefore, the aspects of culture are it is a dynamic, flexible, and adaptive. It is shared and contested. It is learned through socialization or enculturation, patterned social interaction, integrated and at times unstable. It is transmitted through socialization and requires language and other forms of communication. Let's try to go back to lesson 1 on the definition of human cultural variation. That it is the differences in social behaviors that different cultures exhibit around the world. What may be considered good etiquette in one culture may be considered bad etiquette in another. And on the last topic that we have on this lesson is about the ethnocentrism and cultural relativism. When we say ethnocentrism, it is the belief that your culture is superior to another, and cultural relativism, it is viewing of a culture through their perspective rather than your own. Let's try this to distinguish the two. First situation. You visit France for the first time. Your parents order escargot as an appetizer. You look at the snails in garlic butter and lose your appetite. Second situation example. You visit friends of your family who are Orthodox Jews with your boyfriend or girlfriend. In order to not offend anyone, you and your boyfriend or girlfriend do not hold hands or kiss in public. Is it ever okay to judge a culture if they are committing human rights violations? Thank you for listening. Stay safe always. God bless.